I just came back from doing a semester abroad in Japan. Let's talk about it. So in this video, I'll be talking about what I found nice, what I didn't find nice of being an exchange student in Japan, and I'll also be going over some questions that I received over the course of posting my vlogs on this channel. So first, let's go over the basics. Where and what did I study? I applied to study at Sophia University in Tokyo, and I studied for one semester, which was last fall semester, and I took elective classes in history, but normally I study finances here at McGill in Montreal. Next, did I know any Japanese before coming? Surprisingly, this was a question that came up pretty often in the comments, and the quick and easy answer to that is no. I knew the bare minimum to get around. I had this book that showed me some good phrases to know, and yeah, that's pretty much all the Japanese I knew. Side note, for your exchange, I recommend these books and A Geek in Japan, these two. If you want to have an idea of where to go in Japan, what to do, food to eat, things to see, all that kind of stuff, those books. All right, next question. Why Japan? Simply put, the culture. The food. There were so many Japanese dishes that I wanted to try. The sceneries, the beautiful architecture. Ever since I started photography, I've been dreaming of being in the streets of Tokyo, capturing pictures like these. Yeah, I actually have some there. I'll put some more around here. But the arcades, the cute merch. I love manga, I love anime, I love the music. The aesthetic of Japan was so appealing to me. It's been my dream destination for a while. Alright, so now that we got the basics out of the way, I could start talking about my experience on the exchange. And we'll start with my general opinion. My first solo trip, my first time living alone in a whole different country, not knowing any Japanese. Anyone that asked me how my exchange was, I always had the same answer. It was everything that I've ever wanted. My dream to explore the city of Tokyo and part of Japan and fully immerse myself in the culture was accomplished. Before I left, I made a list of all the things that I wanted to do by the end of the trip, and when it was done, I had most of it completed. My exchange left me with a feeling of fulfillment. Going on exchange is jumping into the unknown, and I was proud of myself for doing that. But with all the good I have to say, there was also some bad things. Let's start with dorm life. Okay, so don't get me wrong, living in a dorm was amazing. It allowed me to meet so many people at the beginning of my exchange. It made the transition from Montreal to Japan a lot easier. But sharing bathrooms, sharing showers, sharing the kitchen was not it. So every time you go to do one of those things, you would run into people. If you're someone that's more introverted, this might be a struggle for you as well. But going into it, this was something that I knew I was gonna have to deal with. Pros was meeting new people, cons is always being around people. But yeah, I learned to live with it. Now what really started bothering me was people keeping me up at night. And there's one person that's watching this that knows what I'm talking about. So my dorm was placed right next to the common area. And you don't get to choose your dorm when you move in. At least I didn't get to. And people would gather there at night, and only late at night to talk. Loudly. Now, the first few times this happened, I would go out and politely ask them to go on the floor below, which had no rooms. They would be able to talk freely.
Bombastic side eye.
Wouldn't have been a problem if it ended there. But this would happen every other night. I was just trying to get my sleep, man. So yeah, even with that, I would still choose to live in a dorm again since I got to meet such great people, but I would hope for a room far away from the common areas. So following up on dorms, let's talk about making friends during exchange, which is also something that people have asked me about in the comments. Now, this was the biggest pro of living in a dorm, specifically one that was suggested by Sophia University, which was the school I was attending. I was living in a dorm with other Sophia University students in the same situation as me, which meant we all arrived at the same time, we all had little to no friends, and we were all so lost and confused. So it was super easy to make friends right when I got to the dorm. The first few days we all had to get supplies, so we went together. We all had orientation at the same time, so we went together. We all had no idea how the train worked, so we went together. So if you're nervous about making friends, trust me, don't be. Everyone will be as confused and nervous as you are. Making friends at school was really easy too. I like basketball, I'm pretty good at it too, so I decided to join a basketball club. And through that club, I met all my Japanese friends who I'm so thankful for. They were all so welcoming and curious about me, so we bonded pretty easily, and I was able to experience parts of Japan that I wouldn't have been able to if I met them. Next, my favorite places in Tokyo. These are just the areas of Tokyo that I personally enjoyed. At number 1, Harajuku. Takeshita-dori, the main street in Harajuku, encapsulated for me everything I wanted out of Tokyo. You had amazing food, you had good stores for shopping, you had gachapon machines, animal cafes, everything there. Number 2, Shibuya. I always wanted to go see Shibuya Crossing, and I was not disappointed. The amount of people in Shibuya is crazy. It's a great vibe at night. There's always plenty of people just walking around. There's crazy billboards all around you. Shibuya is just a vibe. Number 3, Shimokitazawa. Shimokitazawa satisfied my need to thrift in Japan. So many thrift stores, it was insane. Although expensive, I got to find some nice pieces and eat at some nice cafes. Number 4, Akihabara. If you're into manga, anime, tech, this is the place to go. Even though those things are mostly everywhere in Tokyo, Akihabara has all the stores concentrated in one area. This is where my inner child was happy. I got to hunt for like an old PSP that I got to mod. I was seeing Slam Dunk playing on store windows. It was really nice. Now, my favorite moments. Top favorite moment for me happened in the first few weeks I got there, and that was hiking Mount Fuji to see the sunrise. That was just a crazy experience, man. First of all, the hiking trails were closed, so we weren't even supposed to be hiking. We had no hiking gear. We got to sleep on Mount Fuji in a hut. It was a total vibe. We made it to the top around 4 a.m. and got to see one of the most beautiful sights, the top of Mount Fuji. It was amazing. And then we had to go back down, and it was painful. Next, playing basketball every week with my Japanese friends with the school club, Reindeers, shout out Reindeers. Sophia basketball. I would go out to play basketball with them, and after that we would just go to an izakaya, just eat and drink, and those are some of the most memorable nights I had. Next, Halloween party and Christmas party, again with Reindeers. Crazy nights, that's all I'm gonna say. Next, when I went to Kyoto, the bamboo forest, that was amazing. These are the pictures that you would see like on the internet, and you'd be like, damn, I wish I would go to that place one day. And right after that bamboo forest, we went to a monkey park. The monkeys were so cute. Some of them would fight with each other. Yeah, no, it was really funny and cute. Next was the deer park in Nara. Super fun. Felt like I was in a movie, just deers walking around freely and you would get to feed them. Disneyland. Disney wasn't like a crazy obsession I had as a child, but being able to go there now and seeing all those Disney characters I used to watch while I was growing up, it was really fun. Next, going to see a boxing match at Korakuen Hall. That was surreal just because I love Hajime no Ippo, got me into boxing, and to be able to watch a boxing match for the first time at the hall described in the manga panels, like right in front of me in real life, that was just mind-blowing. That was insane. If you have any anime or manga that you enjoy, look up if there are any real-life places that you could go visit. That was crazy. Okay, must visits. So for me, one of the first places I visited and that blew my mind was Don Quixote. I knew before coming to Japan that the dollar stores are crazy, but it still blew my mind. These stores have 9 floors. You want to go grocery shopping? There's food. You want to go costume shopping? Costumes. Skincare, they got you. Shoes, clothes, merch, anything. One of the first places I suggest you visit, especially if you just got there, is Donki. Get a bunch of cheap stuff that you need. Next would be Daiso, or alternative of Daiso. I don't know all the names. I know there's Can-Do. If you're looking for cheap stuff, Daiso has got you. I love that store. Next, Kiddieland. If you're into like the cute little Sanrio characters, Gudetama, all of that. If you just want to geek out on like cute little collectibles, Kiddieland has got you. Book Off. Book Off is a spot if you want to get manga, and also just Japanese CDs. They also have collectibles, video games. Book Off is great. Arcades. You have to go to the Japanese arcades. They're so fun. Just don't play too much of the claw game. You're gonna lose a lot of money. Next, Mandarake. Again, if you love manga, anime, video games, collectibles. I spent so much money in Japan. And for this final little segment, I'll go over some other questions that I got in the comments that I didn't cover yet. First one is about expenses. To be honest, I did not really do much budgeting, which is important, don't get me wrong, but I knew that I really wanted to enjoy my exchange to the max, so I didn't really limit myself unless it was ridiculously expensive. I did track my money though, so if you're just wondering how much on average do you spend, I got a spreadsheet, I'll put it up on the screen here, that shows how much I spent throughout the first few months. After that, I stopped tracking it, but it should give you a pretty good idea. First week, you're gonna spend a lot on like furnishing, you're getting coat hangers, detergent, all of those boring stuff. Quick tip, if you want a good place that's cheap to eat, Matsuya. That was my favorite place to eat. You get a bowl of gyudon, which is beef on rice, for like 600 yen, which is around $6. I would go to that place every single day. It was super fast, super convenient, and you had free flowing tea. But cook food, it's healthier. Next, classes. Question on that too, like, did you have to stress too much about your classes? What was your schedule looking like? Let me tell you, I had classes on Mondays and Thursdays. That's it. I made my schedule so I would be able to maximize the time that I had there, and I took easy classes. For me at least, the focus on my exchange was not really on school. I want to make the most out of my exchange, and I built my schedule around that. Could also go with a full schedule throughout the week and still be able to fully enjoy your exchange. But for me personally, I wanted to have the most amount of time available to be able to do activities, go see new things, experience stuff, give myself time to sink everything in. So I went with that schedule, and I was taking history classes. It worked out great for me because most of the work is writing papers, which can be done anywhere really. So I just needed to have my laptop. Shout out George for giving me that schedule. But yeah, that kind of wraps up my experience in Japan. This video is probably getting too long, but if you guys have any questions, if there's anything you want to know more about or something that I didn't cover, you could ask down in the comments below, and I'll try to answer your question as best as I can. To everyone who's been watching my vlogs, thank you for supporting me. I'm still gonna be here. I'm still gonna be making vlogs. Trust me, I love doing it, and I love interacting with you guys. So thank you for showing the support. We're over 600 subscribers, which is crazy because I just started this channel to document my exchange, and it's turned into something that I just want to do for fun, that I enjoy. And yeah, a new chapter begins. Thank you guys for rocking with me, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.